going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to go over the technicals here, and we have quite a few news articles that we need to go over. So, anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So, as you can see here, we have Bitcoin at 91.6K, pretty much flat for the day. We had an interesting start of the day into the stock market as well, because apparently Trump is going to be trying to arrest Jerome Powell. So there's a lot of controversy inside of the stock market right now. We have a rising wedge in the SPY, which is definitely important to be watching. You don't want to only watch Bitcoin. You definitely want to keep your eyes on the stock market as well. So as you can see here, there is a rising wedge forming here inside of the S&P 500 in the SPY. So if this drops, this could also bring Bitcoin down as well, because we know that Bitcoin likes to follow this type of stuff. It's right at the top of that rising wedge, so there is a possibility that it doesn't break down below it. We know that rising wedges are bearish patterns, but again, there's a possibility that this continues upwards, right? There's always that possibility. If you come over here to the 1 minute chart, you can kind of see you can see it even better over here. And also, if you come to MicroStrategy, you can kind of see what almost looks to be a head and shoulders pattern, but we also have something like a ascending triangle forming up here on MicroStrategy, which is inevitably is a bullish pattern, right? So we have a head and shoulders forming here, and then right after that head and shoulders on MicroStrategy, we immediately went into this ascending triangle, and this is on the 1 minute chart. So by the time this video comes out, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So I'm not even going to say whether or not it's going to be bullish or bearish. We already know it's like a 77% win rate to the upside, but doesn't necessarily mean that it has to break out to the upside just because it's in an ascending triangle, right? It could break out to the downside. But by the time this video comes out, you're already going to know. Maybe even by the time the end of this video is, it might actually break out upwards. And that's important because if we look at Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is doing on the 1 minute chart, we actually see that Bitcoin is pushing up here on the percent R trend exhaustion. The short-term trend, which is a white line here, is staying overbought, while the long-term trend catches up to it. So this is a pretty bearish, or no, it's a pretty bullish signal. But this is again the 1 minute chart, so it really doesn't matter. Like none of that matters right now. But what really matters is what happens next on this. So this is the 4-hour chart, right? And as you can see here, we are pushing up on the percent R trend exhaustion. If this continues to push up on the percent R trend exhaustion, then we will end up seeing this retesting these 94K highs. Now, anything can happen at those 94K highs, so I'm not going to say whether it's going to break out or go down because I don't know. Nobody knows, right? Anything can happen. Like we could get a double top, right? And then the double top could bring us down. Anything can happen. It could end up breaking out from here. It could end up pulling back from there. Nobody knows. You can't predict what's going to happen inside of the market. But when you start to see these different patterns, you know what the patterns usually do. Like, right, we're inside of a rising wedge. Usually, rising wedges are bearish, but it doesn't mean it has to be bearish. It could continue upwards, just like we see in the S&P 500 in the SPY. It could continue upwards. So I'm not going to tell you whether it's going to go up or down because I don't know. Nobody knows. But we have a good amount of buying pressure coming back into the MACD over here, so that is good. And I think that we might be seeing bearish divergence. I don't know. This might be the start of the next breakdown here. So we'll have to see if that is true. Lower highs on the MACD would be the bearish divergence. As the price continues to increase here, we get lower highs on the MACD, which is bearish divergence. And if you actually look over here, you see the price continues to increase. We might even have another price increase, and that might be what causes the breakdown. Or it could continue to it could continue to break out from there. Either way, one of those is going to happen. And then we also have the percent R trend exhaustion here. The white line, again, short-term trend. Blue line, long-term trend here. And we are seeing both of these trends starting to trend upwards here. There is a possibility that we could have a breakout even here on the daily chart. Like things are starting to look a little bit bullish because of people are FOMOing, right? People are actually FOMOing into the market. I'm noticing a lot of different people that are just all of a sudden super bullish on the market, right? People who are once bearish are becoming super bullish again. So this is what happens in these cycles. You get the FOMO. But again, it could be a bull trap. It could be a bull trap. Like something like this could happen. It could start breaking out and then it could continue to break down. So you got to be extremely careful because this is what happens. People start getting super bullish. Influencers start making videos saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's gonna start taking off again. Everything's gonna start going up. Better get in now. Altcoin season." Like you're seeing the top YouTube influencers saying, "Altcoin season's here. Altcoin season's coming." You see them on Twitter, X, altcoin season's coming, and you already know the biggest names out there. They're saying you're gonna regret this. You're gonna regret not buying now. Like why are they pushing people so hard to buy, right? I don't tell anyone to buy. I don't tell anyone to sell. I just do technical analysis and let you make your decision. But see, these influencers, the other influencers, they're telling you buy, 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 buy. They're like, you're gonna regret not buying now. It's gonna like go on X and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like these people are super bullish. And you know, just to kind of show you an example, I didn't even plan on doing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull up X here. And sometimes I don't like scrolling on X because you don't know what you're gonna see. So that's why I don't like doing that on Twitter. You just don't know what you're gonna see, and I'm not trying to come across something that's like crazy. But yeah, look, showing a rising wedge and then showing it breaking out upwards, even though rising wedges are actually bearish patterns. This is the type of stuff you see on X. You know, people will try to get you to FOMO into the market. Now, is there a possibility that it could continue to push higher? Yes, there is a possibility that it could continue to push higher. And look, he's showing a rising wedge on the overall chart from like the last run. Like I like that's what he's showing. And I don't know, maybe we can possibly have a rising wedge forming like here. This is pretty much what he's showing here. And who knows, maybe this person's right, maybe they're wrong. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, which I can't be right or wrong because I'm not saying it's going up and I'm not saying it's going down. If you notice when you watch my videos now, like I'm not saying it's bullish or bearish, I'm just showing the facts. The facts are we broke a trend line here. We broke below the trend line. We broke below the 200-day SMA. I don't have that up right now, but we did break below the 200-day SMA. We're still below it. We had a bearish expanding triangle. We broke below that. We're currently trading within a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. So that's the only thing I'm saying. So let's see what happens with that. But again, everybody is super bullish on Bitcoin again. This person says Bitcoin is stuck in a huge range with tons of supply sell blocks ahead. Breakout target is around 112K. Could be a possibility. I thought I think if it breaks out 108K is what you're going to be wanting to watch because that is the previous highs here. So that 108K area is like the most important area to me. If we break 108K, then I'm switching bullish if we break 108K. But until we break that 108K area, I'm not being super bullish on anything. Right now, I'm just kind of neutral. Neutral, leaning more towards the bearish side, but still in the neutral area, right? And then we have some other people. So let's just scroll down and look at all these super bulls. It's time. Bitcoin, 144K soon. You're gonna see all of these people being super bullish, right? And they might be right and they might be wrong. Anybody could be right, anybody could be wrong. So you never really know. And that's why you want to learn technical analysis yourself. You don't want to be going off of everyone else's technical analysis. That's why I do these technical analysis videos. I don't do videos saying buy, 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 or sell, 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 sell. I just do videos showing technical analysis for completely free on top of that. And it really teaches people how to do their own technical analysis. So I just do it for free. But anyways, we have this one. It says the plan for Bitcoin remains unchanged. So I'm kind of leaning more towards this person's theory here because I think 108K, not 106K, but they're saying 106K, which it could be either one. And that does look very, very similar to the last time that we had this in 2022, right? It looks very similar. And this is like what I'm looking at here. And we're also still below the 200-day SMA. And actually, let me bring that 200-day SMA out instead of me continuing to say, yeah, we're below the 200-day SMA, but never showing you the 200-day SMA, right? So yeah, as you guys can see, I do all my videos impromptu. I really don't plan any of my videos. I just kind of hop on and start talking. But yeah, as you can see, this white line is the 200-day SMA. And then if we break out from this rising wedge, which it is starting to push upwards, and you can actually kind of see the SMA is starting to flatten a little bit, there is a possibility that we do break out to the upside. But my main thing is, if we do, I believe that we might get rejected at 108K. But I might be wrong, might be right, who knows? That's just what I'm seeing there. So yeah, let me bring back my MACD here, because that's my trading mechanism. I prefer to use the MACD while I'm trading over the SMAs, EMAs, all that. I prefer the MACD. Coming back over here to MicroStrategy, it probably already broke out from that ascending triangle that we were looking at. Yeah, so we're starting to push upwards. Yeah, and the reason why I'm watching MicroStrategy so hard is because you guys, if you watch my previous videos, you know I've been shorting it. And on this head and shoulders pattern, I actually started shorting it. So I'm just looking at it, see if it breaks out. And then from there, I'll make my decision what I'm going to do next from there. But yeah, I'll make that off camera. But yeah, I started a short on this head and shoulders once it was confirmed here, and then started going down. I was like, yep, head and shoulders. But then it entered immediately into an ascending triangle. So this is why I have a strategy of risk management. Only went in with one put. So I bought one contract, one put in the options contracts. And it expires on the 16th. Yeah, on the 16th of January, which is very soon. So I do risky stuff like this, but I bought one contract. So my strategy is I buy one contract, things go left, I don't care, comes up to here, and then I buy 10 more, let it pull back, I'm in profit after we go down below this area. Even though I bought around this area, still in profit if we go below this area, because I only bought one around here. I'll buy like 10 more up here, and then I'm in profit. So that's my strategy there. It's like a fail-proof strategy for me. That's how I see it. But moving on from that, that's just my trading strategy. Let's get back to Bitcoin, guys. This is the minute chart, so I really don't want to show the minute chart again. But let's keep looking at this because people are super bullish. This Bitcoin breakout could end a lot of misery. They're showing so this person is showing a ascending triangle. And let's see what we have here. Again, let's pull up the 4 hour. And let's kind of zoom in here. Now you could argue that this is an ascending triangle, actually. That is a possibility here. And it could be an ascending triangle as well. But my thing here is when I started seeing this and seeing the rising wedge theory, because we hit this twice here and then here, but this one hasn't really hit up there. So this could also be an ascending triangle, which is also why I'm saying that it could be breaking up to 108K. So that is another thing as well. So, this person might be on to something, Max Crypto, but still, if it breaks out and hits 108K, will it get rejected from there? So that is actually a good theory for him to look at that from a different perspective. But again, that's why you want to learn technical analysis so you can see other things that other people are not seeing. So shout out to that guy. I think that he might be onto something there, but we'll see. We'll see if it breaks out here at this area here. But see, then if that happens, and then once we hit this area here, we're still within a rising wedge. So yeah, we might also be in an ascending triangle, but after we break out from this region here and hit this area, if we get rejected here, that still kind of confirms the rising wedge theory, and we'll see if we continue to break down from there. So, but yeah, good analysis by this person, but everybody else is just permanently bullish, just permanently bullish. They're like, look, we're going to keep going and going and going. It's never going to stop. And yeah, things just don't work like that. But yeah, we'll see exactly what happens with this. All right, and moving on from this, I kind of want to talk about some news articles here. The dollar will fall. So people are speculating on the dollar falling and people putting that money into crypto, stocks, a bunch of different assets, right? Which will increase asset prices. So they're predicting that because Trump is actively trying to take down the Fed because they won't lower interest rates even more, and Trump he's really going after Jerome Powell, trying to arrest him pretty much. Anyways, it says Bitcoin and crypto prices are trading sideways after the long-running row between U.S. President Donald Trump and Federal Reserve Jerome Powell. So the Bitcoin price dropped today, and I just showed you that, but now it's kind of back up again. And then it says now as markets are embracing it, now they're predicting that the Fed crisis will cause the US dollar to fall and fueling the bullish Bitcoin prices. Now, this is my thing. This is the DXY. This is the US dollar index. I've been tracking this for a good little minute. So the US dollar index is trading within a ascending channel. So as it's trading within this ascending channel, and I would argue that it might not just be an ascending channel. Let's pull this up a little bit more. Right there, so we can be touching all the lines there. This, in a way, kind of looks like this, a bearish expanding triangle. So, in terms here, this could actually be a bearish pattern that we break down from. If the U.S. dollar index breaks here and continues downwards, then yeah, technically money could start flowing into Bitcoin and things like that. Because if the dollar index is going down, the dollar is getting weaker. If the dollar is getting weaker, it's getting weaker because people are taking money out of the dollar and putting it into other assets and other currencies like Bitcoin. So there is a possibility that we could see that. And again, that's why I say I'm not 100% bearish. I'm not 100% bullish. So, you guys got to make your choice and decision. You can't let influencers make your choice and decisions for you. Recognize that I will never be telling you buy or sell. Because as you guys can see, I'm mixed here. I'm flip-flopping. I'm teeter-tottering here. One day I'm like, all right, it's looking bullish. And the next time I'm like, all right, it's looking bearish. And you just seen that real time. Like, nobody's perfect when doing this. Nobody can predict the market. All we can do is track it and then know when our targets are hit. Like for me, it breaks 108K, I'm bullish. It breaks 108K, I'm bullish. I'm getting in, right? And that's how I see it. It breaks below 80K, I'm super bearish at that point. We go below 80K, I'm bearish. And then once we hit 75K again, maybe a double bottom scenario. I don't even have to look at the chart because I know exactly what it looks like. But I know you guys might not know what I'm talking about. So let me pull that back up. Pull up the daily chart. All right. So yeah, it breaks 74K. I'm bearish. Let's pull this up. Boom. Oh, it's not even drawn. Boom, 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 boom. That's like a double bottom scenario, right? Comes down here, hits down here, comes up here, comes down here again, hits 80K, continues upward. But if it's not a double bottom, it breaks this, then it goes down to 75K, possibly try to break 80 and then continue downwards. So that's another possibility. So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. If you guys don't like that, if you prefer watching videos where people tell you to buy or tell you to sell because you don't have a mind of your own and you can't do a technical analysis on your own, then you should probably unsubscribe to this channel because I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I'm not going to tell you buy or sell because I don't know what to do. But I do know what the technical analysis is looking like, right? Nobody knows 100% what's going to happen. Everybody's speculating. If anyone tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, they are lying to you. They are lying to you 100%. But yeah, look, again, with this ascending triangle thing, pay attention to the rising wedge because if it hits here, this could be a bull trap, right? And this could be a bull trap forming.
So be extremely careful, because the ascending triangle was not confirmed until it hit this level here. And that was about January 6th. So when it hit here on January 6th and then pulled back, it still wasn't confirmed until it hit here on January 11th and continued upwards. Now it's the 13th. So you see how these new patterns form. My last video on Bitcoin, this chart didn't look like this. This is something that actually just now formed. But I haven't made a video and haven't actually did a technical analysis on Bitcoin since my last video. And I haven't been paying attention to Bitcoin because I really don't care about Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching stocks. I'm watching stocks right now. I'm laser focused on stocks. But yeah, no, that guy is definitely right. We definitely are now forming an ascending triangle, which was confirmed after we bounced off here. So sometime around the 11th, and now we're coming back up. So this is definitely an ascending triangle forming. But what if we get rejected? You got to be ready for that. What if we break out, get up to the rising wedge area, and get rejected? You got to be ready for that too. So be prepared for everything. Now let's bring back our DXY, which is our US dollar index. All right. Percent iron trend exhaustion on the DXY kind of crossing here. Sometimes it crosses and continues downwards. That's a possibility. Remember what I also just now said. We are trading inside of a bearish expanding triangle. This right here. Bearish expanding triangle. So that is a bearish signal. The way it's breaking down here and looking weak, it could continue downwards. But we're also forming a ascending triangle here, kind of like an ascending triangle, actually, if you look at it, just like Bitcoin, which is actually kind of weird, because which one is the real ascending triangle? Because if the US dollar index goes up, Bitcoin goes down. If the US dollar index goes down, Bitcoin goes up. Because when the dollar index is going up, it's only going up because people are taking money out of assets and putting it into the dollar. When the dollar index goes down, it's only going down because people are taking money out of when the dollar index is going down, people are taking money out of assets like Bitcoin and stocks and stuff. When it's going up, that means that they're taking money out of those assets they're putting in it. So that's exactly what we're looking at right now. So this is what we're waiting for. Again, this is an ascending triangle. If we break out, Bitcoin's screwed. When we break down, Bitcoin's going crazy. So let's see what happens here with that. So yeah. And then what else do we got? So this is the daily chart on the dollar index. Let's pull up the weekly chart on the dollar index. Much better looking chart here. So yeah, we'll see if this breaks out. If it does, we could be in for a huge breakout towards these highs of 106 on the dollar index, or up to 110 on the dollar index. So if that happens, prepare to see stocks and crypto dropping. All right. And let's mark that 110. Let's mark here. Actually, that's 107, not 106. 107. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Honestly, I think that it might break out. It might break out. I don't know. We'll see. But if that happens, Bitcoin's screwed. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But again, everybody, you want to learn the technical analysis. I know I keep repeating the same thing, because you guys need to make your own decisions, and you guys need to know what's happening for yourselves. Because again, some of these influencers, they have certain agendas to do. Like some of these people, their channels are literally built off them being super bullish, right? And if their channels are built off them being super bullish, when they're not bullish, they don't get views. So if they're bullish, they get views, they get ad revenue, the money comes in. If they're bearish, people don't want to watch. They start unsubscribing, because let's be honest, people want to be lied to. If I was super bullish every day, people would love it. And then when it actually is bearish and it dumps, then they would scold me for it. They would have called me a fraud. Then they would forget about it in a couple months. And then when I'm super bullish again, they would love it again. And then they was, it's a constant cycle. So be careful with these influencers because, you know, they're after the money. A lot of people they don't really make their money trading. They make their money through ad revenue and stuff like that. So it's probably not the best idea to listen to them too much. You should definitely form your own opinions on the market and learn your own technical analysis. But yeah, because look, when I was absent, not even absent, I think I didn't make a video for like the last 2 days. But in the last 2 days, we formed a new pattern in the charts, and I just now realized it because, like I said, I make these videos impromptu. I jump in it. I jump in here. I do the technical analysis. You've seen it live. You've seen it live in this video. I looked at that guy's post, and he was like ascending triangle. I was like, I have not looked at this in a bit. Let me look back at it, and I'm like, oh, yep. Long behold, ascending triangle has just now formed. So we'll see if this one continues to break out. But that's why you guys need to learn your own technical analysis. So when I'm not making videos, you can look at it and you can know what exactly is happening. And doing a technical analysis, this is the easiest part of trading. A technical analysis is the easiest part of trading. Risk management is the hardest part of trading. Just like I was mentioning my trade here in MicroStrategy. Risk management is the absolute hardest. The psychology of trading is the hardest part of trading. And let me explain. I bought one share right here. As soon as I noticed that it was going to be the Head and Shoulders, I could have doubled down and bought 10 and then sold here. But I don't know if it's just going to take off. I don't know if it's going to do that, even though it's a Head and Shoulders. So instead, what I did, I just bought one. Now, boom. Then it starts to take off here, and now we're in an ascending triangle. But like I said before, not all things are created equal. Not all ascending triangles are going to be bullish. Sometimes they're going to be bearish and they're going to break down to the downside, right? And this particular ascending triangle, it's still forming. I had it a little bit sloppy there because I kind of did it in a rush. So it's still forming. We'll see if it breaks out from here. But if it does, then I'm not screwed. Like I have one contract. I have one contract that's worth like $150, right? And it's going to expire on the 16th. So that's a $150 loss, but it's not a loss until I sell because I know the next high is right here at $164. And the reason why that is important, this next high right here, is because when this breaks out, when is it going to get rejected? It's going to get rejected at that next high at $164. So when this breaks out, or if it breaks out, I'm buying more contracts here to short and then getting out very quickly before it continues upwards. And then I made profit. So risk management, and entries and exits. Exits. You have to master your entries, your exits, and your risk management. I could have exited it when this did that, but I would have made like $100. I don't want to make $100. All right, I want to make 500 or something, 200, 300. So that's just my strategy with this particular trade. But we'll see if it keeps breaking down. Then that'll be good. Then I'll let it go down a little more and make a couple $100 and do an easy trade. But if it breaks out, I'll be happy too because then I have a plan. But anyways, yeah, the U.S. dollar. People are speculating that it is going to, be destroyed. So fears of the collapsing U.S. dollar and the loss of Fed independence have sent the price of gold and silver to all-time highs, with those in the crypto space predicting Bitcoin could be posed to benefit. So it's a possibility. All right. And then we have this. MicroStrategy makes largest Bitcoin purchase since July at 13,627 Bitcoin. Now, they're a Bitcoin treasury company. And the reason why I'm talking about MicroStrategy right now, and the reason why I was showing you the trade I'm doing, is because they have professional traders working for them. They know when there is going to be a breakout and when there's not. But they're never 100% sure. The best traders in the world could not tell you what's about to happen. They don't know. The best, let me say that again. The best traders, look at Michael Saylor's face. Look at his face. He's stressed. He's stressed right now because he knows he keeps buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin, but it keeps going down. Now he's like, it's gotta change again. It's gotta change. He doesn't know when it's gonna change. He doesn't know when it's gonna pump, but he does have professional traders doing technical analysis for him, and they keep getting it wrong. They keep getting it wrong. Whoever has made it this far through the video, you guys are the real MVPs because I'm dropping gems here. But they keep getting it wrong. The best traders in the world working for MicroStrategy keep getting it wrong. They keep getting it wrong, right? Because it's the entries and it's the exits. That's the hardest part about trading. Entries, exits, technical analysis, very easy, very easy. Like I'm doing it. Like there's nothing special about me. So don't think I'm a guru. I'm not a guru. There's nothing special about me. I'm probably the lowest tier level of trader, but I can do a good technical analysis. Entries and exits, that is the main thing. Your psychology, your risk management, your entries and your exits. I entered here. I should have exited here. I didn't do it. I'm not the best trader, but it started to go up here. And now it looks like it might be breaking down. So now when it hits here, I'm exiting. If it hits here, and it is actually starting to break down from this ascending triangle. Again, technical analysis is like the easiest part. It's the easiest part here. Percent R trend exhaustion actively curving down on MicroStrategy. Looks like my plan worked. Yep, and it just now broke down. I'm gonna have to stop the video soon if it continues down because I gotta make that trade and secure that bag. But again, entries and exits is all about psychology. But let's keep reading because Michael Saylor, he's stressed right now. Yeah, I know he's looking at his stock like, what? It's an ascending triangle. It should have broke out. I know he's looking at his stock. I know his traders are looking at his stock as well. They're like, yeah, it should have broke out. It should have. It might still do it, actually. There's still an opportunity for it to do it. But yeah, they've got the top traders. Like, they're probably looking at this like, why is it not breaking out? What is happening here? What is happening? They're doing technical analysis. They're running the same analysis as me. They're like, what's happening? We had a rising wedge. Then it switched into an ascending triangle. Is it going to break out? We don't know. So what does he do? He buys 13,627 Bitcoin, which is $1.25 billion. He spends all this money buying all that Bitcoin, right? Spends all this money. If this thing breaks down, this should be all the proof that you guys need to know that even the best traders and the best investors, the people who make the most money, the people with the most money, the people who can hire the best technical analysis people, even they don't know what's going to happen. Because you can predict things, but you got to have that risk management. Because proper risk management can make a losing trade a winning trade. Let me say that again. This is probably the most important gem in the video. Proper risk management can make a losing trade a winning trade. And let me show you exactly what I mean by that. And it's the same thing I just showed you. I bought here. I bought puts here. Could have sold it here. Didn't do it. Wanted a little bit more money. Came back up here. At this point, it's a losing trade. But proper risk management, look, I bought one option. If it comes all the way up to 164, which is the previous high, I'll then buy 10 options. And then at that point, my new break even is going to be around here. And then everything down here is profit. It's probably going to come back to that previous high down here and then continue upwards or continue downwards. I don't care. I'm going to sell it right here. Proper risk management can make a losing trade a winning trade. That is a very, very important gem right there. But anyways, moving from here, Michael Saylor stressed, just purchased a lot of Bitcoin. Let's see if he's going to be right. But he's predicting that we're going to have a breakout. And there is a possibility of a breakout, so I don't shame him for buying more Bitcoin, because if he's right, that's going to make up a lot of losses for his company. It's going to make up a lot of losses. But anyways, Fed rate cuts under fire, 5 things to know. So apparently they're talking about hiking rates possibly inside 2027. And not lowering any rates in 2026. That's why Trump is coming after Jerome Powell so hard. Like, he wants him, he's already going to get him out, but now he wants him to go to jail for not listening to him because Jerome Powell didn't bow down, and now he must face the wrath of Trump. So that's how it is. I mean, look at what's happening in Venezuela. They didn't bow down, so they faced the wrath of Trump. Now Greenland, if they don't bow down, they're gonna face the wrath of Trump because Russia and China and the U.S. are now gonna be fighting for Greenland. Who can seize Greenland first and take their resources? It's really messed up, but you know, rich get richer, poor get poorer, and the fight for dominance and power continues on. So it is what it is. Bitcoin whales hit the sell button, 135K price target now trending. So as Bitcoin whales are selling, the normal retail traders are buying, and they're predicting 135K price target. That's pretty much what this is translating into. So yeah, according to TradingView data, big holders on Bitfinex have been trimming long positions after a late December peak of 73,000 Bitcoin. The move follows a broader drop in whale holdings of roughly 220,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot. That's a lot. A change that has analysts and traders parsing what comes next. Price action has been steady. Bitcoin has been moving inside a tight range around $88,000 to $92,000. Whale moves and historical patterns based on reports. Some traders see this as a classic unwind pattern that precedes price gains. In early 2025, a similar fall in long positions coincided with Bitcoin slipping under 74K, then staging a sharp rebound. So what they're pretty much saying is we can have a bull trap and then we can have a bear trap. Watch my previous video in Bitcoin. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. This is crazy. Bull trap, then bear trap. And what would that look like? Well, it would look like us breaking out past our rising wedge. Well, not rising wedge, our ascending triangle. That's the bull trap. And then the bear trap would be us breaking down at 98K. Or possibly at 108K. Either one, 98 or 108. If it breaks out at 98, then that rising wedge is right. Then it goes down further. And then maybe it does the double bottom scenario, like I was saying, the 80K, and then try 108K. Anything like that could happen. So we'll see. We will see. So that past recovery climbed to about 112K in 43 days after positions were flushed. And yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what exactly is going to happen. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I know it was a long video. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on Bitcoin. I don't really care to go over the altcoins. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Every altcoin is gonna be following Bitcoin. Some of the altcoins will make their own way, but I don't know how many of you have actually made it through to the end of the video because some people got some short attention spans, and some people just were like, "Nah, this is all BS. I'm just gonna click off," which it's all right. It's fine. Over here, the 4-hour chart on Avantis percent R trend exhaustion getting a little bit weaker. Literally nothing's happening. That's why I'm not making Avantis videos, not making Pengu videos. So this is Pudgy Penguins, by the way. And so yeah, for the members, if you guys are gonna ask me to go over any of this, just know that everything's sideways and nothing's happening. So yeah, right now is all literally sideways, leaning more towards the bearish side. So that's literally all the info we have on Pudgy Penguins because there's nothing going on yet. The video that I made, it almost broke out. It almost did, but it's sideways. So we got to see what's going to happen. And look, it's waiting for Bitcoin. Everything's waiting for Bitcoin. Avantis, a little bit of the same scenario, but it's not 100% sideways. It's still trending down. Like I said, it's still coming down to 28 cents. So I would still expect 28 cents on Avantis. Zcash surprisingly has been doing well. Has been doing decent. It broke down recently, back down to 367. I'm still bearish here for Zcash still, because I'm bearish overall. Well, leaning more bearish, not 100% bearish. I'm neutral, but I'm leaning more to the bearish side. So yeah, I still think that we'll see stuff like all these other, cryptos breaking down. Now Zcash, maybe if it breaks out, it'll come up here to the top of this pattern around 470, 480, and a possible rejection around there if it does. So yeah, I don't know if anyone even cares about Baby Doge anymore, but yeah, nothing's really happening here. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, shout out to everybody that watched the whole video. Shout out to the very few of you that have. And yeah, if you watched the whole video, you're probably already liked and subscribed. So shout out to you guys. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'll keep you guys updated. There's really no reason to make a Bitcoin video every single day because some days it just, some days it's just sideways. But right now, things are looking promising for some people inside of the Bitcoin market. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys today. And as always, I'll be back with another video.